Hello everybody. We are from Carbon Capture Shared Audit Trails, or short CAST. And the process that we are looking into in our I4Trust project is carbon capture, and specifically carbon capture with pyrolysis. How carbon capture works in our process basically is we are taking some sort of biomass that is currently having some carbon inside. Flowers are doing photosynthesis. They take the CO2 out of the air. They store it as long as they are alive. And usually, when they would die, they would dissipate the CO2 back into the earth again. And what we have is a process where we are preventing this biomass from dissipating CO2 back into the earth again, and keeping and transferring it in a solid product called a biochar, that you can put in a confinement facility. And our process basically has a lot of different organizations. For example, a farmer who's collecting biomass and who is creating data for his biomass. So I have here 2 tons of wood chips. The biomass is being transported to some biochar plant that transforms that biomass into biochar. This is a chemical process where you have many different parameters, and where also the end product can have different purity grades. For example, it can have 80 or 90% of biochar of carbon inside this biochar. Then this product is being transported to a confinement location where it's supposed to be stored the next 20, 50, 100 years to keep carbon under the ground and not fire it back up again. And the problem in this process is that all parties in this process can arbitrarily forge and corrupt the data. So that might have a pretty big impact if, for example, the biochar plant is saying, okay, this biochar, this half a ton of biochar that I produced has an 80% purity grade of carbon inside, but in fact it only has 60%. This is a big problem, a monetary problem, and of course also an environment problem. And it cascades down the whole chain. So if there's a kink in this chain, everything else that comes afterward is a problem. And what we are doing in our process, in our CAST project, is we are using iShare and Fiverr to give a context broker and iShare accounts to each of these parties in the consortium or in this chain. That each of these parties can put the data in there, and that other parties can certify if the data that someone put in there was correct. That might be an independent lab analyzing the biochar, saying, okay, it has indeed 80%. It might be someone later looking that the biochar is still in its confinement location and has not been dug up again. And this is what we're doing in our project. Building such a system that puts attestations and the roots in form of a hash on a blockchain to preserve integrity and to create a real end-to-end shared audit trail that we can use and hopefully make the whole system better. Our consortium consists of technology providers, my company JadenX, iExec, a French blockchain company. We have 2 domain experts who are experts in that chemistry and carbon capture research for 4C GEM and lab automation networks. We have in our project 4 different data providers that we are basically these organizations that we have in our consortium will simulate, that we have the one end-to-end process end-to-end for the experiment. And then we have 2 parties, WB Node and Act for Carbon EV, so a non-profit organization that is going to disseminate and communicate our work. We are supported by the Digital Innovation Hub from Vorburg Numerik and Quantum. And yeah, 5 minutes, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot.